than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that. Okay? We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. We are moving forward, we are not going back. We are stronger than that, we are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
It was muted before, but it's not.
Oh, I can't unmute. Okay, let's do it again, since I'm supposed to be teaching this, but it's easy to pick up. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward. We are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
When the storm is this on?
Yes.
When the storm is rolling in and our hopes start to fade, that's when we rise as one, our spirits like a blade. We are many, we are mighty, and even when we are afraid, we are stronger than that.
We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward. We are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
We will not yield to hatred, to lies, or to shame. Our power lies in courage, and our love is not tame. If the lights go out on justice, we will light a flame, because we are stronger than that.
We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward. We are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
To everyone that's turned away, we open up our town. If fear can build a wall, then love can tear it down. Then we'll build a bigger table for all to gather round, because we are stronger than that.
We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward. We are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that. One more time. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. We are moving forward. We are not going back. We are stronger than that. We are kinder than that. Love is stronger than that.
Thank you. I want to read a land acknowledgement that was written with the advice and approval of Loren Spears, director of the Tomahawk Museum. I'm using it for educational purposes and to underscore our ongoing relationship with Tomahawk. I would like to honor Indigenous nations and acknowledge the historic relationship of the Narragansett, Nipmuc, Wampanoag, Niantic, and Messinian peoples in what is currently known as Rhode Island, and the enduring present-day relationship of the Narragansett Nation and Narragansett Niantic peoples with the land currently called South Kingstown that some of us are on right now. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation. Welcome, poet. Come on up front. I am Johnnie Rodriguez, and I will be your worship associate today. We are an open and welcoming congregation comprised of people from different backgrounds, beliefs, and identities. We welcome diversity in all its many forms. We're so glad you're here. We would also like to welcome any new people. If you are willing to, you can stand and we will welcome you personally. And could today's greeters please wave their hands? This is Val up here. and Russell in the back. If you have any questions, they'd be glad to help you out. The restrooms are down the hall, on the right and on the left. The exits are down the hall, the door you came in, the door out through the community room, and the door behind me. We would like to suggest that you take this next hour as a restful respite from the demands of technology, particularly cell phones. Would you please turn them off? A quick shout out to the tech associates for today, Aileen Couture, Jean Burke, and Nancy Richmond. The other announcement, wait, the flowers are from Barbara Nowicki. And is that right? This might be left over from yesterday. I don't know. But there is another announcement that I have from, it came from the Women's Project, and it has to do with the position of the state Senate president. And the two constituents from South County are on the fence about a gentleman named Frank Ciccone, who would be someone who would vote against every hard-won civil right we had for Rhode Islanders. So if your state senator is Sue Sosnowski or Victoria Gu, please let them know. There's a small flyer that I'll put on the back table for you to pick up that has more information. Okay, today is about poetry. Lisa Starr began a poetry group in the summer of 2017 in the Pawcatuck Westerly area. And that fall, the group moved to the Savoy bookstore in Westerly until COVID hit. The group came back to the Savoy in late 21 until the bookstore closed in the summer of 23. In the fall of 23, we regrouped at the Westerly Library as a poetry gathering, and we've been there ever since with a few gatherings in the backyard of the Cinder Restaurant and at the Westerly Senior Center. I think the 4 poets here today have been there since the beginning. I joined in December 2017 and Bill in January 2018. Anita Dees is a retired lawyer. Catherine DeNunzio and Luke Gabordi are retired teachers. And Lisa has had 25 to 50 different jobs. But from 2007 to 2012, she was the poet laureate of Rhode Island. So I forgot to ask someone to light the chalice. Okay. As Amanda Gorman concludes in her inaugural poem, The Hill We Climb, when day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Our opening words are from Anita Dees. There you go.
Hello, and good morning on a beautiful spring day. It's wonderful to see you here. You know, the soul matters. And we nourish our soul through art, through music, through the wisdom of our elders in so many ways. People say, well, what good is poetry and what good is art? What does it do for anybody? It does everything for everyone. That's what it does. We all get through the tough times, get through the hard times, get through bereavement and loss, through inspiration. And where we find that inspiration is among others and in the realm of the mind, in the realm of the spirit. Without our minds, without our spirits, we're just so much meat. So think about that as you go about your lives, and think about your memories, your good memories, and how they buoy you up, how they keep you going through everything. Thank you.
Read one of your poems.
Okay, this is Another Spring by Christina Rossetti, and I'll read it in 1 minute. I'll read Spring Dreaming, which is by me. In early spring, as always, young girls, giddy as goslings, out for a first paddle in the pond, dream of love. But perhaps the time has come for them to begin dreaming of textile restoration or quadratic equations. Perhaps the time has come for dreaming of some other thing, any other thing. Young girls learn about romance from fairy tales. There might be a problem with that. Somewhere perhaps at the edge of a forest, an eternal spirit tends an iron pot and sees to the cycles of the seasons, sees to the calving and the lambing, sees to the birthing and the dying of every living thing. She takes no notice of the changes wrought by man, but stirs the pot as she always has. And young girls, tender as snowdrop blossoms in the days of early spring, dream of love. Thank you. And this is Another Spring by Christina Rossetti. If I might see another spring, I'd not plant summer flowers and wait. I'd have my crocuses all at once, my leafless pink mazarons, my chilly veined snowdrops, choicer yet, my white or azure violet, leaf-nested primrose, anything to blow at once, not late. If I might see another spring, I'd listen to the daylight birds that build their nests and pair and sing, nor wait for mateless nightingale. I'd listen to the hasty herds of ewes with lambs as white as snow. I'd find out music in the hall and all the winds that blow. If I might see another spring, oh, stinging comment on my past, that all my past results in if I might see another spring, I'd laugh today. Today is brief. I would not wait for anything. I'd use today that cannot last. Be glad today and sing. Thank you.
Please rise in body or in spirit for reciting our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its prayer. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to see true love, and to help one another. Barbara's going to help me with the next one, right? This one, a lot of you might know, it's called We Who Believe in Freedom. Well, that's not the actual name of it. It's called Ella's Song. Ella Baker played a key role in civil rights organizations, including the NAACP, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee. And Bernice Johnson Reagan dedicated this song that she wrote to her life and for working for justice. Okay. Yes.
So the words are, we who believe in freedom cannot rest. And let me repeat that again. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes. We who believe, I'm going to sing it for you once, I'm going to ask you to sing it with me. We who, but if you know it, sing it. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes again. We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Until the killing of black men, black mothers' sons is as important as the killing of white men, white mothers' sons.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on is when the reins are in the hands of the young who dare to run against the storm. Not needing to clutch for power, not needing the light just to shine on me, I need to be one in the number as we stand against tyranny.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Struggling myself don't mean a whole lot. I've come to realize that teaching others to stand up and fight is the only way my struggle survives. I'm a woman who speaks in a voice and I must be heard. At times I can be quite difficult. I'll bow to no man's word.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
One more time.
We who believe in freedom cannot rest. We who believe in freedom cannot rest until it comes.
Thanks for your cooperation. Thank you so much. We will use these donations wisely and well. And now the poets Catherine DeNunzio and Luca Gabordi will also bring you some wonderful poems.
Good morning, everyone. Let me know if I slip into my teacher's voice, I might blow the eardrums out of people in the back, so I shall try to modulate it here. Thank you for welcoming me. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a beautiful, beautiful service so far. The topic of resilience in poetry was an interesting one for me when Johnnie mentioned it. My first reaction was, I don't have any poems that deal with that subject, but thinking about it more, I decided I was wrong. I just never considered the genre's effect on resilience before. Now, most of my poems have a connection to the natural world. And in nature, it seems to me, resilience is the default setting. Anyone who has vegetable gardens or bird feeders is likely to agree. It is persistence, an element of resilience, which enables animals to overcome the obstacles we put in place. And then thinking about it some more, it seems to me that only the minds of human beings, where'd I go? Seem to have attributes which can cause us to be something other than resilient. Doubt, despair, emotional weariness, and others. So this morning I will share a few poems that provide examples from the natural world and which give me hope that with total commitment, we too can overcome the most intractable problems. The first is a poem called After Us, which draws on the patience and persistence of the earth itself. The second, Child, shows a young animal who amazed me as I watched him overcome some of the greatest of obstacles. And the third, Resurrection, speaks to the resilience of life itself and what I see as one way I can eventually contribute to that. After Us. When the fever breaks, time will pass as it always has, in rising and ebbing tides of light, tireless and without pause, indifferent to what remains and what has gone. However sudden or slow our leaving, no one can say this patient earth will not again be paradise. She may, in only decades, heal her lesser wounds. The abraded plains will green again in summers, their tall grasses teeming with the urgent labors and intrigues of whatever creatures may survive us. The blistered beds of siphoned marshes will melt and breathe again beneath dark tea water. Gravity, relentless as time, will buckle the rusting bones of buildings rising through the clouds and snap the careful arcs of bridges until stone and steel release and rain on everything below. Metallic moons, blind and silent in decaying orbits, will slip into the sea. And when our peculiar noises, latent in the hovering bronze of tower bells and fuel tanks waiting for a jagged spark, are heard a final time, and when the elemental dust that was our bodies is scattered by the wind, neither sound nor scent will remain of us to trigger flight, and the last trace of encoded wariness of a lost species will disappear from the blood of the staggering fawn. It will be as if we never were at all. Now, I consider that an optimistic poem. Not everybody does, but. And this is child. I will say before this, no matter how off-putting an animal may have been to me at one time in my life, species of animals, I found that every time I've written a poem about and done the necessary observation and research, there develops this affinity for them in me, which does not dissipate. And I'm talking about vultures, bats, snakes, or in this case, an opossum, which I think is a lovely little creature, but I didn't always feel that way. I begin with a quote from Wendell Berry. If you don't know him, I hope you will make it a point to. Who said, "Go without sight and find that the dark too blooms and sings." Child. From under a hemlock's heavy skirt, a small opossum climbs into the day before the sun has cleared the feathered crowns that shade my home. He rises often, buttressed by his hairless tail, and stretches himself into a cone, all shades of gray, except the pink that scans for scent. His kind is common to my yard. Tucked as it is against the woods, they enter warily, heads wagging, nearly blind in the morning light. But the limits of this young one seem greater still. He stumbles on a plastic bat and scrapes his ribs against the well. I circle him, but he does not flee. I call and clap to no effect. But when my stomping ripples through the earth, he spins to hiss in all directions. I am moved to pity quickly by a limping fox or broken wing, but he appears well-fed and energetic as he sprints and stands. He is a mystery. A fit opossum lasts a year or two, rarely more, and nightly does elude coyotes, owls, and vehicles that blind him. I try to fathom thriving in his world of obsidian silence. Do signposts of recorded smells direct him in his search for food? Do his feet chart for him the textured pathways of his hunts? He will never know the music organic to his forests, winds hum and whistle, chorales of flexing trees, the blinking melodies of streams. But might the tempo of his heart be germ enough for song? I want his dreams to conjure for him brilliant imagery and scents to blossom as color against the opaque walls. Does he recall the painted earth, the sounds of life and grieve? Or was he born to make his way with only what he has today? I can only hope for him the cruel mercy of the latter. I want him never to have seen the moon, never to have heard the rain. My final one is resurrection. In the rich decay of forest floors, seed and microbe feed. Carrion eaters clear remains from fields freshly mown. The found body of the snake fuels the silent thrust of wings. The fallen quail that warms the winter fox listens with him for the hunter's breath. I am awed by the simple genius of this commonplace, this passing of vitality, the cardinal formula. Every husk and each corrupted piece of flesh sustains. Of my abandoned body, make no more than this. Lower me unsheltered into the cool garment of the earth to feed the lives that find me. Lay me where a great tree's roots will hold and hollow me until what spirit wavers still within my ringing atoms climbs into the crown and drinks the light. Thank you.
So when I tell my husband I'm not so sure about him being buried in the yard, he encourages me by telling me that I could come up as tomato next to him. I would do the same. Decades old. I'm sorry, I'm in that stream. Thank you, Johnnie, for having me. I'm really happy to be here, all of you. Decades ago, I came across this statement the late poet Stanley Kunitz made. If we want to know what it felt like to be alive at any given moment in the long odyssey of the race, it is to poetry we must turn. It has stayed with me in part because implicitly it recognizes that what we humans feel has been felt before. The effects of our experiences have been felt before. Poetry acknowledges what is true. It frees the reader to feel that truth, to face it, and importantly, to go on. Here are a few poems through which I've tried to reach truth. This first one looks at an experience long ago, and it's dedicated to Susanna, my best friend since we were 10. At the Dairy Queen, 1972. It happened as we sat with melting cones in the shade of an aging oak, talking about the boys we'd been meeting after dark. Not far away, a woman shrieked, waving her arms wildly at something black hovering, then diving at her head. Over and over, it hovered and dove. We watched from a distance. You worked that summer counting shorebird eggs along the Hammonasset marshes. I was a counselor at the local nature camp. We knew this with certainty. Her attacker was a bat. Your hair is white now, mine gray. Back then, we had not yet known predaceous men or the anguish of losing loved ones, nor had we foreseen failed pregnancies, malignant cells, a deadly virus circling the earth. At 16, we could see but could not know that woman's terror, how powerless she was over something so intentional, scythe-like, relentless. This is wrestling. No shade of thread quite right for the boho cotton top I'm mending. I can't remember which my mother taught me as a girl, go lighter or go darker. But since her death, other losses are returning. I wish I'd kept the block print smock I wore the summer I turned 17, its flowering vines as seductive as its vivid red, velvety indigo, rich olive. And suddenly I become that girl again, and I want the boy from then again, and the back seat that we used. But in my bed tonight, I will turn to wrap around my husband as he sleeps and reach for his top wrist as I have done for half my life. A perfect one-on-one, the move familiar from all those years in bleachers, our sons on mats before us, wrestling, the oldest sport. Sometimes I cannot get out of my own way. And one day, something in nature made a comment. The task, carrying in her beak a twig 3 times her width, a Carolina wren lands on the narrow perch of the birdhouse she has claimed in the dogwood tree. Again and again, she seems to be trying to push the twig through the birdhouse entrance. How can it not have snapped, I wonder, just before I realize? She's acting on a plan. Bracing the twig in her beak against the house, she slides it left, 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 until with a sudden sweep of russet head above tucked wings, she snugs the twig lengthwise against her body and disappears into the house. Some days, the task too big, the way too small. I feel myself as driven as any nesting wren. I make the twigs fit however I can, because these are my wings, my beak. With these and my resolve, I build the life I can. And the last one is called the doily. The end of the worlders say, anytime now. They blame the upsurge in deadly earthquakes, hellish wildfires, catastrophic flooding on biologies they condemn. They point to Old Testament passages as evidence. But tomorrow we will rise again at 5, slip into the dark outside, look to the silver stars, and walk as we have done for weeks. An owl will call, who cooks for you? Be answered with the same. And a patch of light from the neighbor's driveway lantern, shadows of our dog's quick legs will move again like bickering sticks. Me first, no me, no me, no me, then vanish in the road's old dark. Close to home again, Betsy's rooster will crow his brassy boast, while on the bird's eye maple table that once belonged to great on the farm, a small fringed doily made by someone long ago remains, and on its tatted center square, a tiny vase of 8 gold mums whose stems I beveled late last night to keep them until I don't know when.
Thank you. The closing song will be We're Still Here by Holly Near.
And let me read the words to you of the chorus. We're still here, choosing love over fear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. We're still here, making it perfectly clear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. When the lines are drawn, we're still here.
Let's try the chorus, yeah.
So it goes, we're still here, choosing love over fear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. We're still here, making it perfectly clear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here.
Yes, we can cause a lot of trouble if you send our children to fight and to die, or poison the food, or try to delude us with ads that blatantly lie. Our children have minds meant for learning. If there is a God, then God lives in them. Books are not meant for burning. What is it you feel that you must condemn? No matter how hard you push us around, there is something around the bend, because
We're still here, choosing love over fear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. We're still here, making it perfectly clear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here.
no matter how much you love to hate us and fear is driving a stake in your heart, as long as the stars shine bright in the sky, then love will keep doing its part. Yes, you may try to stop the music, but music has wings and flies over the walls. It's there when we dance and when we romance. It's there when the dictator falls. But no matter how hard you push us around, there's one thing you need to recall.
We're still here, choosing love over fear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. We're still here, making it perfectly clear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here.
Sometimes we get sad and discouraged as old friends die and dreams slip from our grasp. But much as we treasure our memories, we don't live in the past. Years can bring us gray hair and wrinkles and wisdom as well, I hasten to say. With walkers and canes, we are standing between young people and harm's way. And your job just got harder today because we're still here.
We're still here, choosing love over fear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here. We're still here, making it perfectly clear. When the lines are drawn, we're still here again. When the lines are drawn, we're still here.
Thank you. Our closing words are from Lisa Starr. And as I mentioned before, she was our poet laureate. And she always has some great things to say.
Good morning, everybody. It's really nice to be here. The last time I was here was when Johnnie had organized a tribute to the great poet Mary Oliver, just after Mary's passing. I'm not going to be reading any Mary Oliver today, but I am wearing a pair of her socks, which is a good fortune of mine to have a couple of Mary's socks. Thank you so much for pulling this service together. And thank you all for entertaining myself and Anita and Lou and Catherine. We're awfully glad to be here, and we've heard from a couple poet lovers. So afterwards we'll have a cup of coffee. I've got a flyer in my car from our poetry gathering. But we are, as this community is, all about holding space for everybody. So even if you're somebody who's been saying for 30 or 40 years, I'm not really a poet, but I do write some poems, please come join us. So I got a few poems for you, 2 of my own and 2 that are not my own. I'm a week late for Easter, but this is my favorite Easter poem, irreverent as it is. And it's by a poet named James Tate, and it's called Good Time Jesus. Jesus got up one day a little later than usual. He had been dreaming so deep there was nothing left in his head. What was it, a nightmare? Dead bodies walking all around him, eyes rolled back, skin falling off. But he wasn't afraid of that. It was a beautiful day. How about some coffee? Don't mind if I do. Take a little ride on my donkey? I love that donkey. Hell, I love everybody. So that's my Jesus. Following up with the sort of Christian theme, what a gift Saint Pope Francis was to all of us, and I've been thinking about him so much, not having paid too much attention during the course of his life. So his actions throughout the course of his life, and in particular till the very end. He had a very significant visit before he gave his final Easter blessing. And if only the recipient was intelligent enough to realize it wasn't a blessing. And let's just hope that what he's planted continues to plant itself and manifest itself in a world that needs so much more peace and understanding and fewer walls. So this is a poem by Galway Cannell, a Vermont poet, and it references a poem in which Saint Francis of Assisi, for whom Francis was named, is blessing a pig. And it's called Saint Francis in the Sow. The bud stands for all things, even those things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within of self-blessing. Though sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness. That's the point right there. Sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness. To put a hand on the brow of a flower and retell it in words and in touch, it is lovely, until it flowers again from within of self-blessing. As Saint Francis put his hand on the creased forehead of the sow and told her in words and in touch, blessings of earth on the sow. And the sow began to remember all down her thick length, from the earthen snout all the way through the fodder and slops to the spiritual curl of the tail, from the hard spininess spiked out from the spine, down through the great broken heart, to the sheer blue milkiness spurting and shuddering from the 14 teats into the 14 mouths, sucking and blowing beneath them the long, perfect loveliness of sow. And 2 poems of my own. This was written many, many, many years ago on an April morning. The reason we're here this month is that April is National Poetry Month. So here's a little short poem called Prayer in April. Just this morning, right as we clambered off to school, in the driveway, the bird, that startled baby bird, he was so frightened he lost his voice. His little feathered head became more yellow with his quivering. We 3 took turns holding him. The complicity of our awe is what strikes me now, and I hope I'll always remember it. How we dropped to our knees, how we took turns cradling him, how for a moment, when he flew, we lost our voices too. In one final poem, unfortunately, you guys just heard at the Jamestown Library, but a poem that I wrote coming out of a period of not writing for a long time, but more significantly, a period of losing my joy in my faith. And it's kind of like I was watching the whole world happen from a window, you know? Oh, that's what happy people do. Oh, that's what the sounds of people living their lives feel like. So those of us prone to depression, or those of us who have gone through difficult times, and I can't imagine there isn't a single person in the room that hasn't had more than one difficult time in their life. This was a moment when the world just kind of threw itself back on me. And all it took was probably years of grief, but one specific beautiful thing that I happened to be looking at, which was a blue rowboat on a flat harbor on Block Island where I lived. So it's called What It Takes. All it takes is one blue rowboat tied to a buoy and its reflection and this moment for me to go remembering everything. Then a murmur, the sound of water lapping, the breeze snapping in the way the leaves resist the letting go or don't. The wheels of a bicycle soaring downhill with some gravity-glad rider. All of it complicit. What I'm talking about is the sheer shimmering faith of the rope that connects the boat to the buoy, and the hands that tied the knot, and the fathers who teach their sons and daughters these simple things I see all day, and sometimes not at all. Moments like this become miracle, oracle, and I know again from the deepest part of my heart that the whole world, this one, is just my own face in the mirror. And I know that I am the boat and the buoy and the rope, and like faith, that holy smoke, I am brilliant and bobbing and blue. Wow.
Please join me as I extinguish the chalice.
Which I'm never sure I'm.
We extinguish the chalice of ourselves, that we take with us into the world, sharing with those we encounter. Please stand, and if you feel up to it, form a circle. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all. Every the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet again. Carry the flame of peace and love until we meet